afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Hell's Kitchen on a Sunday afternoon for To Hell's and Back. Brought to you by Devil's Peak. I'm your host, Julian. We're brought to you by Icons, Shure Microphones, Wild and Marr, and DiscovrTV and Hell's Kitchen, a wonderful venue. And I'm with the incredible Nibs Van Der Spuy. How are you doing?
Cool, great, good to be here.
Welcome home. You've been away for a while.
Away, yeah, I'm always away, but good to be back. Yeah.
The last time I saw you was Lush playing with Guy.
5 years ago.
Wow. This man is a phenomenal guitarist. I know, we're just getting older. And I see my son's now 20. I'm like, 5 years ago, he was 15. 5 years before that, 10. He's like just getting bigger and bigger and bigger, as they do.
Awesome, man.
So what's been happening?
Well, I've been living abroad for the last 7 years, so I'm back here to record a new album.
Oh,
actually with Guy Battery, and I'll be on the road with Guy this October, some solo shows. So this is my first solo show in Africa. Yeah, since about about last 3 months. So,
wow. Well, we're excited. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Nibs Van Der Spuy.
dreams of youth may surely fade away, but some are hiding in the sugar cane. Above the trees you saw the kingdoms shine, but caught a glimpse of something more profound. Your songs without a voice spoke more than words could say, or even reach. Close the door to leave the world behind. My treasure's waiting on the other side. Felt as if I ran a futile race through desert storms with sand thrown in your face. My eyes with vision blurred, I seek your saving grace, and arms to hold me tight. Winded by the sea, it tore the sails of my heart. The mystery of the storm was the saving of my soul. Through eyes of a child, I found the coast of dreams that leads to heaven's gate of gold. And only some pass through. Only some pass through. Meeting places where the harvest meets the sea. It makes it cross for all eternity. A pilgrim's heart, the spirit we receive, to walk in faith and set the captives free. Like standing in the rain, I couldn't stand another day without your love. Was winded by the sea, it tore the sails of my heart. The mystery of the storm was the saving of my soul. Through eyes of a child, I found the coast of dreams that leads to heaven's gate of gold. And only some pass through. Only some pass through. Only some pass through. Thank you. Good to be at Hell's Kitchen, really is. That was a tune called Hiding in the Sugarcane from an album I did called Beautiful Feet back in 2005. And the dude who promoted it, Bill Butts, is sitting in the front row here today. You promoted it globally, brother. You did. Still good memories from that time. And I saw you at the back there, was like wondering what the melody was who I sang at the end there. Third Stone from the Sun, Jimi Hendrix. Okay. Going back to 2008, did an album called The Bird in the Hand. And I'm going to do a tune there which I kind of still play today. And I did it as a duet with a great singer-songwriter called Piers Ficini. It's called Shaded in Blue. From a bed in my room, I lie awake to pictures painted on the walls. Bridges burned, a big mistake. Redemption, hear my final call. I pray the angels put my mind to rest and hear my song upon the wind. To reach that woman in another place who kneels there praying on her own. Every time I think of you, the purest heart, the purest jewel, I will make my way to you across the ocean, shaded in blue. Shaded in blue. wildflower. She stood alone on my path of fallen leaves. Can't fight the moment of 1,000 dreams when I know she was waiting there for me. Every time I searched for you behind the mist, searching for clues to know you're there, to know it's true. Across the ocean, shaded in blue, shaded in blue. Come from down in the valley where, mister, when you're young, they bring you up to do like your daddy done. Me and Mary, we met in high school when she was just 17. We drive out of this valley down to where the fields were green. We'd go down to the river, and into the river we'd dive. We'd go down to the river, and into the river we'd dive. Into the river we'd dive. Little bird in my hand, don't fly away and leave me standing here alone. I have waited all my days to hear you whistling down the wire. Every time I think of you, the purest heart, the purest jewel, I will make my way to you. Across the ocean, shaded in blue, I will make my way to you. Across the ocean, shaded in blue, shaded in blue. Shaded in blue. Shaded in blue. Thank you so much. Thanks, Joe. Have a little bit more guitar on the monitor, please. Tashish, we both of you have come all the way from P-Town, so thank you for that. Last minute thought. Yeah, this song I'm going to dedicate to you guys. It's called Counting Stars. Have you ever felt the calling of the wind? Where you pack your bags and heart for everything, border town I laid my eyes on you, pouring water from an ancient wishing well. Felt love that day with song unto my soul, to reap the crop of those already sown. Midnight stars, I know your names. I counted you through endless days. The doldrums stayed, the seasons never end. Your patient wilts, the hunger endless spread. Does hope still count when love has lost its way? Like a dormant seed, the rain of spring await. Midnight stars, I know your names. I counted you through endless days. Upon the hill I sit and pray, and I count on you to light my way. La, 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 la. This beauty of this land I could never trade, like a basket full of bread for those who wait. Upon the bush a bird flew in my hand, then I saw her face on a tiny grain of sand. Midnight stars, I know your names. I counted you through endless days. Upon this hill I sit and pray, and I count on you to light my way. Thank you. Thanks so much. I'm going to go back to 2010. I released an album called A House Across the River. And this was kind of meant to be a filler tune on the album, a tune called Once I Climbed a Lion Mountain. And with 8 songs in it, were too short. And I thought, well, let me write a song in 5 minutes to take up some time to make up the 10 songs. And it's kind of weird. The songs you spend months working on are the ones which go unnoticed, and the ones which you write in 5 minutes are the ones which people keep on asking for, including this one I'm playing for you now called Once I Climbed a Lion Mountain. And basically what I did here was steal a banjo picking exercise. And then I just developed into this tune. Once I climbed a lion mountain in the quest to find the truth. Through the mist and the rain of Cape Town, I got water in my shoes. I feared the narrow pathway and the sheer drop down below. So I called on my guardian angel to lift my weary soul. Hope is your only friend when everything disappears, and the memory of all you had was a childlike shimmer in the wind. Before the war of roses, you learned by hard mistakes. Now your eyes are always open to what the whispering winds will say. A voice will always guide you if your heart bears the truth, and you shed your skin from yesterday. No harm can follow you. Hope is your only friend when everything disappears, and the memory of all you had was a childlike shimmer in the wind. Did you hear about the fire on the mountain, so wild and out of the blue? A heavy smoke came rolling into Cape Town. I got ash upon my shoes. Slopes were a fiery furnace, no mercy, no escape. So I called on my guardian angel to keep my loved ones safe. Hope is your only friend when everything disappears, and the memory of all you had was a childlike shimmer in the wind. Just a childlike shimmer in the wind. Thank you. Well, I've been living on the Lisbon coast in Portugal for the last 7 years. Well, half the year in Africa, half year there, and I must say lockdown was kind of a really beautiful process because I used to escape on my bike every night. On the coastline there, 16th century forts there, old abandoned convents, they're like these lost gardens which have been around for a few hundred years. So I must say a lot of stuff came out during that time. And one of the things which connects me to Africa when I'm there is the swallow, or barn swallow. And in Portugal, the swallow is a very sacred symbol. It symbolizes family, unification, protection, and often I'll be sitting there at night and these swallows would come swirling around. So almost to say like everything is going to be fine. So a swallow in Portuguese is called andorinha. So this tune is called As Andorinhas, plural, the swallows. It jumps all over the place, so I'm going to wear some glasses. Thank you. How's it sounding out there? Cool? I've got a whole bunch of different little guitars here, so I'm going to change to this little, I'll explain it to you now. This is a 10-string guitar, and it originates from Puerto Rico, and it's called a quattro. So if you've got a grasp of any Latin language, quattro means 4, but you'll see five pairs here. So it kind of evolved over 500 years. So obviously it was once four pairs. If you can see, there are 5 pairs, and they added the 5th pair, but they just still kept calling the instrument a quattro. And I don't really know how to play it properly, but I have a whole bunch of fun playing it in a non-conventional way. And it's a chameleon of an instrument. Sometimes it'll sound like a banjo, sometimes like a mandolin, sometimes like an African instrument. So yeah, it was fun to write on. And this is another one which was written on the steps of a 16th century church on the Lisbon coast. This is called Let the Light Shine In. To awaken all those senses deep within, where the rivers and the mountains they all sing, and the never-ending stars your glory brings, the breath of every soul and living thing. Amen. The migration of the swallows flying north reminds me of a love that I once lost. Will the fountain of the sorrow someday fade? I didn't know the joy of love can bring you pain. Amen. The church bells in the valley ringing loud, they echo through these fields of hallowed ground, where a maiden stands in waiting all alone, to be a fruitful vine inside a home. Amen. Let your light shine in. Amen. At the ocean of my heart and of my soul, it's where I made a promise long ago, to take this cross upon me and leave behind the ashes of a time that made me blind. Amen. Returning to the places of my youth, for the lessons that I learned, search for truth. In the decades that have passed, this oak has grown, where we seal the kiss of faith and seeds were sown. Amen. So fragile in the twilight of our home, I can hear my mother praying on her own, for her children and a shelter from the storm, and to shine that holy light upon the road. Amen. Let your light shine in. Amen. Let your light shine in. Thank you. Thanks so much. And I must say, there was a real creative period. The songs just kept coming, and especially on this little guy. So I'm going to stick around with this for one more tune, and this is one called When Children Pray. I'm going to have to wear glasses because it jumps all over the show as well. Thank you. These kind of small gigs are cool. I was with a friend the other day, and she said one of her most memorable gigs ever was, I'm a huge Tim Buckley fan. A lot of people like Jeff Buckley, but I'm Tim Buckley to the grave. I really am. And anyway, a friend of mine, she was doing promotions for this one label in France, and she said she drove up to Glasgow and saw Jeff Buckley in a bar for 3 people in the audience, and got drunk with him afterwards. So, you're at Hell's Kitchen. Yeah, no, I love the Turanga. This is very similar to the Turanga. Yeah. Okay, this is, I'm going to put my guitar into Keith Richards tuning. There's such a cool picture of Keith on the, did you see that Keith Richards pic? It's just around the corner there. It was actually taken at Stonehenge in 1969. He was there with a country singer who kind of inspired the Stones to go country, a guy called Graham Parsons. I don't think Graham's on that photo. I think it's just Keith, hey, Jono? Just Keith on that, Keith Richards? From the Stones on that, you've got a beautiful portrait of him around the corner there, I think. Wow. Well, the best biography I ever read was Keith Richards' biography called Life. It was just absolutely stunning. And if you're a Stones fan, it just it heightened that love for the Stones. And in 1968, Keith Richards had been hanging around with Ry Cooder, and Ry Cooder showed him this tuning which my guitar is in now, which is called Open G. And yeah, but we're going before that. And yeah, so this is Open G, and I'd never meddled with Open G before until reading that book, and kind of opened up a new universe for me. Well, Keith Richards put his guitar in Open G in 1968, and he hasn't taken it out since. And hey, well, anyway, he took the six string off as well because he didn't need it. So he used like Open G in 5 strings because he had Bill Wyman playing bass. So love it. Anyway, this kind of opened radical doors just of creativity, and I'd been reading Keith Richards' life, and then the day I finished the book, well, that night I finished the book, I got a call from a friend in London to say, have you heard the news? I said, what news? That Nelson Mandela had just died. So this song, I just put it in Open G, and this song was born the next day. It's called Peace in Our Time. May your words always shine along the pathways of time. You showed us something, open your eyes. Peace in our time, peace in our time. You put your life on the line with those youthful dark eyes. You had a vision so bright when you stood on that hillside. Faith on your side, peace in our time, peace in our time, peace in our time, peace in our time. Hope was the way to survive.
saw the light of the Christ over African skies. You walked out of prison, hearts were on fire. Peace in our time, peace in our time, peace in our time, peace in our time. We saw the change of the tide. When a prayer comes back answered, time to remind. Peace in our time, 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 peace in our time. Thanks too much. Can I do a Dylan cover for you? I mean, but not a famous Dylan cover, but it's a Dylan cover which kind of is close to our hearts here. It's on the Desire album. Third track is called Mozambique, and I got the cassette Christmas of 1976, and my mom bought it for me for Christmas, and I've still got it. And I always, even at the age of 10, I always thought, why is Dylan singing about an African country like an Americana style with fiddle and Emmylou Harris singing backup vocals? It was beautiful, but when I could start playing, I thought, let me try and do like an African version thereof. So here it goes. I'd love to spend some time in Mozambique. The sunny sky is aqua blue, and all the couples dancing cheek to cheek. How very nice to spend a week or two and maybe fall in love, just me and you. There are lots of pretty girls in Mozambique, and plenty time for good romance. And everybody likes to stop and speak, to give the special one you seek a chance, and maybe say hello at just a glance. Lying next to her by the ocean, reaching out and touching her hand, whispering your secret emotion, magic in a magical land. And when it's time for leaving Mozambique, you say goodbye to sand and sea. You look around to take a final peek, and you see why it's so unique to be among the lovely people living free along the beach of sunny Mozambique. I'm going to do a tune for you called Madala, which is on my last studio album called Natalia. Actually, recorded my last studio album in Devon in the UK, and I worked with a great, first time I ever used a producer, and he just was so great to work with. He had actually won a Grammy for engineering a Death Hotel album called, what did Stormwatch, I think it's one for with the guy with the binoculars on the like 91 or 92, and he had produced 2 albums by PJ Harvey, and he had produced the Portishead album. So he was cool. He was great. He was awesome to work with. And he also done an Ian Gillan album. He had done, and I was recommended to him because he was really good with acoustic and vocal, capturing that. So recorded that in this little African, my humble attempt of trying to write something in a Maskandi style. And I wrote this for my friend Madala Kuneni. And it's called Madala. And in Madala in Zulu means old man. Thank you. Thank you so much. Have I got time for how many? 2 more? 1 more? 2's fine. Okay, cool. 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 Thanks for coming round. This has been real, man. This has been super cool. Jono, thanks for having me. Thanks everybody at Hell's Kitchen. Thanks to you guys from DiscovrTV. Thanks, Joe, for the sound. All of you, thank you. Really appreciate that. Just bear me while I get it perfectly in standard tuning. Okay, Gavin asked me to, where's Gavin? I think he's out. He asked me if I could play this tune, and I said, why not? It's called Beautiful Feet. Beauty in the feet of a wise man, bringing hope to a hungry soul. I didn't know that you were dreaming. There's beauty in the heart of a woman, open arms to the lost and the poor. A homeless child sat there weeping. Shine a light on 1,000 thirsty nations. They're crying out for something to believe in, trying to work their way to find salvation. And the sounds of the beautiful feet. There was a man of water, and he spoke of the one to come, who'd fill the world with hope and glory. So we'll write it on the hearts of children, on the hearts of the broken ones. Say a prayer for the blind man walking, the shield of faith to walk into the nations, to hold the sword of words and never leave you, the belt of truth to lead them to salvation, shoes of peace of the beautiful feet. Well, you've got your diamonds and you've got your pretty clothes. The chauffeur drives you around, you let everybody know. So don't play with me 'cause you're playing with fire. No, don't play with me 'cause you're playing with fire. Your mother, she's an heiress, owns a block in St. John's Wood. Your father would be with her, but only if he could. So don't play with me 'cause you're playing with fire. No, don't play with me 'cause you're playing with fire. We gonna ride it on the hearts. We gonna ride it on the hearts forever. We will follow you. We gonna ride it on the hearts. We gonna ride it on the hearts forever. We will follow you. Shine a light on 1,000 thirsty nations. They're crying out for something to believe in, trying to work their way to find salvation. And the sounds of the beautiful feet. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thanks for having me. Okay, I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna take it. I can't leave the little guy out, so one missing. So let me end with that. I'm just gonna put my mic in front of it. Okay, can you just put this right to the sound hole here? Thanks, Joe. We'll do it like, actually just bring this down here, I'll do it like this rather. Okay. Let's do it. Okay, this is cool.
Well, let's just stay down there because I thought I was going to move all the microphones. This is to Hell's and Back at Hell's Kitchen with Nibs Van Der Spuy. We'll catch you next week. Big shout out to Joe doing the sound today, to Dylan mixing the show. Yeah, and to Jono because we love him. Thank you, everybody. And to Rachel. It's wonderful. We love everybody at Hell's Kitchen. It's the way we roll. We'll catch you next week. We're out here. Bye.